Carving out your niche may be the way you can help the community the most. I'm going to explain to Josh what I mean by that. Stay tuned for this. He's going to help us understand it. Welcome everyone to Your Little Castle Show, where we get to highlight those leaders making a difference in our community. And I wanted to give a shout out for Josh here, because it seemed on this little planet, as I was thinking about saying this, I thought about you got to carve out your little niche, your little corner of the world where you are the best at what you do. My dad talked about one day you will specialize in what you're doing. And I thought, I do this goofy Cardinal Cowboy hat thing, and I said for the second show we'll start off with the hat on. But you carve your little niche out, something that stands out, something that gets the attention you need in a positive way, but also that does high quality work for what you do. And you've done that a couple places. Number one, fixing the cabinets for people and repainting them is a huge savings. So that's a niche that I have not heard very often done by. We know a company that was on here not too long ago where they talk about that's all they do.
Yeah.
But you do that included in your whole process. So now there's not just, it can all be done in one place to save people thousands of dollars right there.
Sure.
And then that full disclosure with regard to, here's down to the penny what our materials cost. Here's the disclosed costs of what they actually, with no markup on them. And you're transparent with all of that.
Sure.
That's where you've kind of carved out your niche, and you think that has provided for some of your success?
Absolutely. Again, transparency, there's nothing that puts anyone at ease more than knowing everything about everything, right? It's easy to make a decision when you trust the person you're dealing with, you trust the process, and you're good with everything, right? Everything just makes sense.
Boy, but we wish everyone was always so transparent. That would make life so much easier. Just put it out there no matter what it is, and then we can deal with it. But if you don't tell us, now we got to figure it out. And then it takes more time. I like that policy you've got. That's great. We finished up the last show talking about the big mistake a lot of people had. And you talked about people need to do their due diligence with regard to who it is they hire. Because so many people just want to get the job done. They get the first person that comes in there. They look like they can do the job. And then you find out later that's not always the case.
Right.
You even recommend if somebody does get a bid from you that they get a bid a couple other places maybe.
Yeah.
And then check in with you and then say, hey, let me explain to you why they're offering what they've got here. We can match that. We can do it. But that's why you've proven so well to have such success. I think you're very, again, transparent.
Yeah.
With everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
To make that easy for people. But let's expound upon that. Is that the right word? The mistake that people make. Why is it so critical for people to make that decision to have somebody to get full depth, and back to that transparency, I guess is where that all comes from, that if they know who they're dealing with, so that when they're going to get some work done, they're not going to make the mistake of having something halfway done and then it doesn't come out right, and then you got to come in and fix it.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's so important?
Well, for one, money is, nowadays everything is so expensive. I think we can all agree on that, right? There's nothing worse than paying for something twice, right? When it should have been done right the first time.
Yes.
It's just taking the little bit of extra time to check out and make sure that your decision that you're going to make is the correct decision is just going to save you a lot of headache and money in the future.
Definitely right there. I mean, how often is it the case that, boy, we get surprised with things and then we're just like, what the heck just happened here? If I'd have known that, gosh, I'm thinking about a couple crazy things that happened to me recently. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have paid for that up front. I won't get specific, but it was something to do with titling a car. And an old car, and the title was lost, but I had to get the new car titled, and then I kind of am putting it out there. But so I ended up paying the taxes on that, and then I paid for taxes for that, and there should have been a deduction for the other, and I got to go back and get my money. And it's just almost too much hassle to deal with all that.
Yeah.
But if I just known this information, and that wasn't like anybody was hiding anything from me. It's just I wasn't informed, and I was following the process, and because the paperwork got crossed up, you will help people make sure that your paperwork is always done.
Well, yeah, and just to touch on that, and I tell this to almost every person that I meet and that I do the estimate for. Listen, my job is to give you all the information that I can give you, and let you make the best decision that's right for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, how often is it the case, like I just made that, if I had just known any better, and we don't know what we don't know, right? So we've got to just trust, and that's where we look at the experience and the history, and that's where you can see what Josh and his team has put together. 15 years in business, 25 years experience, and That's good to have somebody on our show. This is the kind of leaders we're trying to exemplify. Tell us a little bit about the area that you focus on. You said you're originally based out of Wentzville.
Yeah.
And now you said Foley.
Foley,
but
yeah.
how far will you travel to help somebody?
We have a pretty big service area. We do basically from out to Silex, all the way out to Silex, all the way over to Warrenton, basically 70 all the way down to 270. So we do a lot of St. Louis County, Lincoln County, St. Charles County. We have a pretty big service area. So, it's kind of gets to that point where too far is too far, especially with the St. Louis traffic, right?
Yeah.
It's not beneficial to have 4 hours of your day in traffic.
Right. Yeah, you can easily spend that amount of time. We're lucky in St. Louis, though. We have that inner belt. We've got 270, 255, where you can get around St. Louis. And if you took the whole loop, it'd take you an hour and 15 minutes. I know places around the country. When I was down in Georgia for some time, boy, just getting around from one quarter of that little clock, if you will, took an hour.
Yeah.
And, but you start going too far, you don't want to spend your time in a car when
Right.
you'd be building and constructing and making sure that the work is getting done. So that's important to make sure. Residential or commercial, what do you focus on and how much of each?
We do both. I kind of veered away a few years back from commercial and focused more on residential. I like to help people. I like to meet people. I enjoy creating for people's homes, and it just felt better and more up our alley and what we were in line to do with the business. It just feels more right for our business to do that.
Yeah, when you get to work with the consumer at their house, it's a little
Yeah.
more personal. Sometimes easier to work with because the decision maker is like right there.
Yeah.
And they appreciate it too. I can't imagine how often it's somebody, when they're working directly with you and they've got a question, they've got something they want to get fixed. That's why I recommend working with small business owners. They get that answer right there from the boss or from the person the boss has trained personally. Is that a benefit?
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, we try to keep everything in-house. So I sub out very little. Pretty much everything is in-house. So and that's a benefit for people as well. They call me, they want to do a large project, and they don't have to deal with 4 and 5 and 6 contractors and hire a GC and all of that. We basically do everything from start to finish, all wrapped up in one contractor.
That makes it easier for everybody because if they've got to go poking around finding the electrician, the plumber, the roofing guy, you can handle all of that stuff, then
Yes.
it's a lot easier to get a job done. Also, you know a little bit more about who you're dealing with then, obviously.
Right.
Same person to go to if there's a question or a problem or something they want to upgrade or change, they talk to you and you can handle the coordination for everybody behind the scenes.
Yep, absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, tell me that. I can only imagine there's a lot of people that are very interested in what you've done here. But give me an example of somebody where you knew they were in a tough situation and you had to kind of go out on a limb and help somebody. I can only imagine, as long as you've been doing this, there's been a lot of those situations.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a lot of things come up like that. Sorry about that.
No worries. I get it.
The one that comes up to my mind is we were in the middle of a job and the husband became injured and ended up having to make a lot of things wheelchair accessible. We were really booked at that time, and it was difficult to fit it all in, but we were able to do so, and we were able to do it at no additional cost. So that felt really good to do that for them. And full disclosure, he is back in 100% now. So it definitely felt rewarding to do that and help them in that way. And and we try to always do a little more for everybody on every job. We try to always do more than what we quoted. Try to always, like moving furniture for people or getting rid of stuff when we're demoing, and they're like, hey, can you throw this away? Yeah, not a problem. It's things like that. And we try to help people in any way we can every day on every job.
I like that. It sounds like the strategy. Another one I've heard from my dad. Excellence is achieved by doing a little extra.
Yep.
Excellence by doing a little more is what the quote says. But if you do a little bit extra every time you do something, you're going to come up quite a bit ahead if you just do a little bit extra every day. And if it was only 1%, every day, that's 365% increase, right? That's pretty
Correct.
big jump for people.
Correct.
Take advantage of doing things, do that little extra. It'll benefit you long term. Well, we got a lot more we want to talk about here with regard to the community and some other fun stuff. But before we do, tell me, if somebody's been in business, you're in that realm, a little bit younger than me, I think, but would you say that technology has changed the way business is done, and that now you've got to have the website and social media and all those things? How has that impacted your business? Or what kind of technology have you incorporated in your business now? Laser pointers versus the old tape measures? Give me some examples.
Yeah, I mean, technology, it's beneficial, right? And I feel like it's made things better. I don't feel like I'm not one of those guys who's not willing to change and adapt with the times, right? The laser levelers, laser pointers. There's very, very small margins of error, right? It allows me, the carpenter, to do the best that the material will allow me to do, right? And the same thing with social media. Social media allows you to put your work on a broad scale where a lot more people can view it with just the click of a button, right? So it puts you out there, it puts your hard work out there, and it lets people give honest feedback.
Yeah, the key to any business these days is get the word out, communication. If you can share with people what you're capable of and some of the history and what people have said about you, it's going to make an easier decision for some. That's why we're doing this show, everybody. I figured out we could help smaller businesses get the kind of exposure that the big guys were spending. Some of my clients were spending $2 million a month, and more than that. And when you talked about Budweiser and all those guys, I don't even know what the numbers were there. But you can only imagine. I just thought, well, if I can produce a TV show that helps people to get their word out, hey, let's see if we can do some more to help. Because again, I think small businesses are the ones who really are the ones who, so much work gets done by the small businesses, it's overlooked. If you look at the way the history of our country has gone, it's just kind of evolved where small businesses, where a lot of the innovation comes from.
Yeah.
And the big guys they buy up the small companies, but hey, maybe they made that small company owner that created that idea a millionaire along the way, and then they keep them on path and benefit from the technology they created. So
correct.
Kind of a cool way for us to expand our business. With that, I'll finish up this segment talking about a little bit of our technology. And so if you guys ever do decide to learn a little more about it from my perspective, get this book called Magnetize Media, and we talk about that because media has really changed the way it's done. I wrote the foreword here. This is a #1 bestseller on Amazon, and will help you in your business to get involved in this new world where it used to be you could just get the Yellow Pages ad and put it out there, but now everybody's using this new thing that's free called social media. So I even help my guests to expand upon that, because these clips that we can create for everybody out of this whole interview will really help you to get. Joe Rogan, essentially, I don't know if he stole my strategy, but I know he uses it, and he takes his whole interview, cuts it up into clips, puts it on social media. You watch the short clip here, and where does that take you? To the full interview.
Yeah.
And now Joe Rogan signed a $250 million contract with Spotify. And then I got to see the story from Spotify's guy. Talk about somebody innovating again. Kind of a recluse, somebody that didn't like to be in the public, but went out there and did it anyway. And now everybody's heard of Spotify and all the whole way. The interwebs have changed our world. Well, we got some more stuff we're going to talk about within our community, so stay tuned and take a look at what some of the more fun we got to have here in our community. Giddy up. Hey everybody, we've got some baseball players in the building here. Give me your form. Are you going to do wind up or are you going to do the stretch? All right, so show me how to do this. How are you going to do it? Right, all right, move over for me right there. You got to hold it. Don't let that trophy. I know it looks heavier on TV. I know. All right, you go like this, right? That's the rubber right there. Let's say, all right. We'll step up here. Show me how you're going to do it. All right, pretty good. Now, if I was going to be out there, maybe someday, here, I'll do a little bit more like this. Ready? It's called the Al Rabowski Cardinal Cowboy. Here we go. Just, you got to get, hold on. That's how you got to, think you can do that? All right, let's go Cardinals on 3. You guys ready? You got it? You're all watching the Cardinals game. Come over and hold the trophy. You got it? All right. Once hold that up, because I'm going to let you, if you guys say, let's go Cardinals, then you guys can continue with the trophy. All
right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Cardinal! Giddy up, touch the knuckles for good luck. Here we go. Come on.
Come on, guys.
All right, guys. There we go.
Knuckles.
We're going to get you guys all pumped up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! Well, we got to see some of the kids there having fun, and Josh and I were talking about, he played for the United States youth team.
Yeah.
Played at Bush.
Yeah.
And your team essentially, you guys won how far did you go in the Little League World Series? Did you win the World Series, or how far did you get?
We took second. I think it was Blue Springs, Kansas back then when it was held in Blue Springs, Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I went all the way through that, and my team went so far too. And then we won Missouri, and then they said, okay, you got to go over and play Illinois. And the guys called over to Illinois and said, hey, they've got a kid who's younger than he's supposed to be.
Oh.
And they reported us for that. So we said, well, we'll play you without him then. You're worried about a guy who's too young to be on the team. According to the rules, that was allowed, but whatever happened. But, well, we're getting some circuitry going crazy here, everybody. The storms are coming a little bit. Our screen flashed behind us there, but it looks like it's back. But, oh boy, the competition. But I gained a lot. I learned a little bit about what can happen. Even when you get there, you've earned it, and somebody might come in and go, eh. And the competition, jealousy a little bit, maybe that had something to do with that. But hey, we got through that, and we learned a lot from that. But with that, tell me that process, though. So when somebody does want to start with you, how easy is it for somebody? Go to the website, fill out the form, or call in direct? What do you prefer?
There's numerous ways to get our attention. Basically, there's the website, there's email, there's text, there's call, and I think there's actually a link on the Facebook page that'll get you directly.
Yeah, I think I noticed that. I'm going to put that up on the screen here. And we're going to go to our wide. Here is our. Oh, it looks like our internet did go down there periodically for just a quick second. That's why we have the battery backup. So we'll give that a second. But I can show you up here on the other TV wall. as I put up here, that's the 9-foot. There we go. You've got the option right there for people. They click that book button, and right there, then they have. Oops, I'm sorry, on the wrong screen. They click that book button. Yeah, it says you're currently offline, but click book, and it'll go right through the booking option you have for your business. People get through to you on Facebook as well.
Yeah, so basically once we receive whichever avenue of communication, that you take, we will then reach out and we'll schedule an appointment for us to come out and take a look. It'll most likely be me. I'll come out. We'll discuss what kind of work you're looking to get completed. I'll take a look at it. I will go back, I'll price everything out, and then I'll send you a free estimate.
Yeah, well, it seems like a pretty simple process these days. It is a matter of just making it easy for people to communicate.
Yeah.
We had a discussion with one of my previous guests, Mr. Orff, and he talked about it. He says, you got to get to the young guys. Or I'll finish up with the young guys. It's funny what he said, but the older crew, those in their 60s, they want you to come in and you sit down. You can have a nice 2-hour discussion with them. They're going to learn everything about it. Then you got the middle crew in there, and they're saying, okay, I got this technology and I can understand it, and send me some stuff, but I want to analyze it a little bit. And then the youngsters, they're like, send it to me, but don't look me in my eyes. Don't make eye contact, right? Because we're used to everything just being on our little phone device here, and maybe we project that on a big screen and we can see it there in our private little room. But we don't want to have any discussion that isn't necessary until we're ready to talk to somebody. Even then, we might be like, make it 6 foot by 8 foot or whatever.
That's pretty accurate, actually. That's pretty accurate.
Okay,
actually.
So Chris wasn't just making that up. But it's kind of the way it is these days. But a great process you've got there, and people can get a hold of you. Fill out the form on your website, and that'll submit and come right into you as well.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way because it allows you to put in your name, address, phone number, what you're looking to do, and that allows me to immediately just take that, create a file, and it's seamless. It works easy, works well. It's the most efficient way to do it. And then when I show up to your house, I kind of know what I'm looking at, know what I'm getting ready to go in here for, and I can kind of get my mindset right and have answers loaded and ready to go for you whenever I walk in.
Yeah, well, there you go. Because getting things organized, we talked about it when I worked at Anheuser-Busch. Everything had to be systematized, standardized, but a matter of make it simple, because if you get too complicated with people, then things don't work out as well, and now you've got a mess on your hands. You've got to fix something that otherwise would not have been an issue. Well, tell me a challenge you've had to overcome as a business owner. I can only imagine doing this as long as you've had, a time where you had a tough situation that you learned from that made you stronger, made you a little better. Or maybe what time when you had a challenge you had to help somebody. You have a couple examples like that.
Yeah, so, being a business owner is a struggle, especially early on. I guess if I had to say the biggest struggle that we had or biggest challenge that we had was staying the course. That first 5 years, it can be difficult. You can one day you're eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and the next day you're eating steak, and that is an analogy that is actually pretty true. So I think for me, staying the course was the biggest challenge that I think we had to overcome, and I'm very glad that I did.
Yeah, these days, if you're not going to stick with anything in life, then you're not going to be successful anywhere.
Right.
They talk about many times the hurdles that you overcome are what that make you the success that you are.
Correct.
And so what I did, everybody, by the way, I went through my hotspot on my phone and turned it on. So now we've got an internet connection here, because I did want to take a minute after you gave us that's a great message for people to understand. But look at some of the work that's been done here. I'll put a wide camera here again. And first off, let's go back. I wanted people to see where they can see the Contact Us form. So that's on our page behind us here, and it's thinking now because we had to, and we're going to show some more of this work. I'm like, holy cow, that's like from some of those magazines that you've got out there, right? Is that kind of the work that you're capable of putting together here for people, obviously?
Yeah.
How's that make you feel? We'll go over that first.
Yeah, this was a fun one. This one was a full first floor remodel. So there's actually quite a bit going on here to unpack. So right behind there is the laundry room. This is the beautiful kitchen that we created, and this is a perfect testament to This was her, 100% her vision, right? I didn't suggest or do anything. I gave her exactly what she asked for, and yeah, this one turned out really good.
Well, that's pretty exciting because I can imagine. I mean, I'm looking at that picture. I'm like, holy, see, there's our internet on the back wall. Let me go back here, and there we go. Get that up for everybody. But the interwebs, everybody, it just shows you how much we depend on what we're doing with the interwebs. But that work, let me put that back up here for everybody to take a look at. I'll go over to the 9-foot. That is beautiful work. I mean, literally, I'm like, holy cow, what hotel in California or New York is this in? But this is the kind of stuff and she designed that all herself, you're saying?
Yeah, Winsville, Missouri. That's where this job is. White oak hardwood flooring, the waterfall on the quartz, and we actually built that. Most of the time, people want to tear the bulkhead out, and I guess that would have been the one thing I did say. Hey, maybe we should add a bulkhead and take it to the ceiling.
Okay.
Because she had the taller ceilings, and I think that was a really good addition to that to make it more grand.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
that likes dynamite. Let me go zoom forward here. Let's see if our interwebs are connecting. There we go. And check that out. So that's that same bathroom. I'm sorry, kitchen.
Yeah,
But
same kitchen.
Those are some great looking pictures, and you can see it from all different angles. I zoomed through there on another one there, but I'm gonna let everybody take a look at these on our computer screen there.
Yeah.
Check that out. How big is that bathroom? Our kitchen. I keep saying that's got to be
It's a pretty good sized kitchen.
800 square feet. Something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not huge, but that's one of those things where we maximize the space, right? We give her plenty of storage without taking up too much footprint, right? And that's kind of where we come in. That was an outdoor kitchen we did.
Yeah, tell us what we finally got through. We got a ton of pictures there.
Yeah.
But tell us about what's going on here. Why? What was so neat about this one?
So outdoor kitchens are always fun. This thing was handmade, every bit of it. So even the countertops, we those are concrete countertops we poured in place. Yeah, that was a fun one.
Wow. Okay. Let's zoom through it. There's a couple different angles there, but this is some beautiful work. I mean, this is literally like the stuff people dream of, and when they you get an outside kitchen like this, now you're really talking.
It's funny that that butcher block. I had some butcher block laying around because that's actually where a griddle went, and the griddle wasn't in yet. So I just kind of built that and threw it in there for him until it came in.
Well, we've got tons of awesome work that you've got. This is all on your Facebook page. Wow, a gazebo.
Yep.
And some decks,
Retaining walls.
some retaining walls. So you'll do even the outside retaining
Absolutely.
features that people need. And
Pergola.
pergola. I'm zipping through here because we're coming down to our last 15 seconds here, but
That's a water feature. That has water running down it.
oh wow.
Yeah.
So indoor and out, JT Renovations can take care of everything that you might ever need.
Hey,
And-
just to touch this project here was started. I remember when I said do your due diligence.
Uh-huh.
I had to come in on this one. This one was in Baldwin, and I had to. The guy never pulled the permit.
Oh wow.
They got shut down, and I had to come in and pull a permit and go backwards before I could go forwards.
There you go. Our experts, Josh Tillman here, JT Painting and Renovation. Join us again. Thanks. Giddy up.